Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Today is Wednesday, hump day, right? So I hope that everyone's doing all right now that we're on the second half of the week, heading towards the weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whose time I am interfering with. I try to stick to my scheduled live streams as much as possible because I know that other channels have days of the weeks where they always do a live stream at this time or that time. So I'm going to try to make this one quick. I just wanted to inform you all of what's going on, what Oupes is doing. I think that they are doing something so great that's why I decided to have a live stream. And I also wanted to go ahead and share with you the sale that they're having. It's like the very best sale that I've ever seen any solar generators do. So I wanted to go over that with you all real quick. So no, this is not really an infomercial, but it is about a product that Oupes is selling, which is their solar generators. And I'm actually like excited for people that are wanting to buy one because right now they're the cheapest that they've been. But as I've done on a couple of videos, I want to go ahead and talk about what Oupes is doing, which I think is great. They are doing something that's going to help the prepper community and those of us that are within it, obviously, and those people that maybe need a little bit of help. They're doing something about that. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to me that we affiliate and or associate with businesses that aren't only in it for the profit. Well, they have to make a profit, right? Because they're a business. If not, they wouldn't exist. But that are also in it for the community and for the people that actually lift them up. So they have customers that lift them up, that keep them in business because they believe in their products and they buy their products. But at the same time, them as a business decide to do something for the community that helps them stay in business. I hope that I said that right. So I wanted to take a couple of minutes to show you what's going on with them, what they're doing. That way, if you have any questions here during a live stream, you can ask them live and I can answer them here live instead of in a video. Hopefully more people will benefit that maybe had that same question that didn't ask it. Let me take about 2 or 3 minutes really quick to just say hello to a few of you that are here. So Jason Jimenez, how are you doing? Oh, and by the way, we're going to have a giveaway today. One of you all is going to win a product from Oupes. All right. So one of you is going to walk away tonight with a product from Oupes, and then I'll have you contact me and send me your information, and it's going to be randomly picked. So it has to be someone that's here in the U.S. They cannot ship it overseas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only stipulation. But if you're here tonight, you're obviously subscribed to this channel, and I'll go ahead and give you a code word so that one of you guys is going to walk away with an Oupes product tonight. All right, I'll show you what that is here in a minute. But let's say Brian Barbie, how you doing? Stacy G, F Pierre, hello. Hey, F Pierre, did you get that coin in the mail yet? F Pierre, let me know if you got that coin in the mail yet. Let's see. Chris Sheffield, how you doing? Susan Z, Ed Hammond, Annie, how are you? Patricia, Rich, Vec Mama, how are you doing? E Hoffy, how are you doing? Rhonda Hall, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. I know I'm going to miss a lot of you all, ladies and gentlemen, right? But I really don't want to stay on too long tonight. Although I love having a live stream with you all, asking questions and going back and forth. But I really don't want to be cutting into anyone else's live stream. D's Crafts, how you doing? V Neat, Queen Solo, how are you? Redfish, Disabled and Prepping, Tip Top Girl. I'm actually pretty excited because one of you is going to have a brand new solar generator today. All right. Well, you'll have it today, but it'll be mailed to you. So I'm pretty excited for you. Kata Snow, how are you? Good to see you. Patty, Dana, Deborah Ramirez, Brenda Penta, Take America Back from Israel. How you doing? This is actually the latest that I've ever done a live stream. It's this time. Usually I'm in bed by now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Trinity, Liz Watson, question. Do you think liquid IV adds enough minerals back into the RO system? Liquid IV, I don't know what liquid IV is, to tell you the truth, Liz Watson. Is that like an electrolyte? Man, I wish I had my electrolyte near me. I'd get it and show it to you. It sounds like that may be an electrolyte. I know that the electrolyte that I use like 3 different kinds. One of them is Dr. Berg electrolyte, which works really, really well. The other one is called Element, and they have different flavors. And one of the flavors that I really like is a chocolate flavored electrolyte. Now, granted, these are all sugar free. There's no sugar in them, and they've got, sodium, magnesium. I forget the other the other minerals that they have in them. But I like the chocolate one because I can put it in my coffee and it tastes really, really good. It's almost like having a dessert. So it's called Element, LMNT. And then there's a third one that we have that's also good that I forget the name of it. But those are the ones, and I've had very, very good results with those electrolytes. I mean, as long as your electrolyte that you're having pretty much has the magnesium, the sodium, and I forget all the minerals that's supposed to be in there. Potassium, I think it's another one of them. It should be okay, in my opinion. But those brands, those two brands that I mentioned, I've been doing very well with those up to now. Atta girl, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me see. Lisa Bibby, how are you doing? I'm kind of glad that I did this live stream tonight because it's on a night that we normally don't do it. And hopefully there's some of you here that normally wouldn't be on like on a Friday when we normally have our live streams. Potato Head, how you doing? Michigan Lifestyle, how are you doing? Let's see. Trouble Bedsteader, what type of winter boots do you sport? You know what? I really don't wear real heavy winter attire. Like my winter boots are my regular work shoes that I wear anyways. I do keep a pair of real winter boots like in my vehicle. That way, if for some reason I get stuck a little bit far away from home and I have to walk, I can put those on. But like in the wintertime, if I go outside just for a regular, going somewhere regular, I just wear my regular work shoes. And, to me, it doesn't really get too cold until it's below like -30. So like once it's below -30, like -35, -40 and below, to me, that's pretty cold. But anything down to like -30 to like -20, -25, to me, it's not really that cold. You get used to it. You get acclimatized to that temperature. So I really don't wear any fancy stuff. My winter jacket is just a cheap coat. And if it gets really cold, like below -30, I'll put a hoodie under the coat. And it's just really a cheap jacket. It was like a $29, $30 jacket 5-6 years ago. All right. Oh my goodness, Tip Top Girl, that's really funny. Tip Top Girl says, better hurry, I took a sleepy 30 minutes. Oh gosh, that is funny. I'll tell you right there. Oh, you got it, FP. Okay, excellent. Oh, I need to announce something. I'll have to announce it also. Let me see. I bought Dr. Berg and it's a bit flat. Liquid IV does have, take a look, Liz, take a look at all of the nutrients or minerals, whatever you call them, that Dr. Berg's has, and then just get something, in my opinion, all right, because I'm not training this, but get something that has the same thing. And even if the amounts are a little bit different, it should be okay. But I would say that as long as you take it and you feel okay, and you don't feel like passing out like I did when I was dehydrating myself without knowing it, you should be okay. All right, you should be all right. Let's see. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, so listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to announce this now, and then I may have another live stream this Friday. Let me see. I'm not sure. It might be a busy day, but I may have another live stream this Friday. But what I'm going to do for our turkeys this year is I'm going to start doing the super chat thing. So starting today, all right, not putting any pressure. It's up to you, because I've gotten so many people ask me about my new Alaska Prepper coin. And I'll take a picture of it and show it to you better probably this Friday if I do a live stream, if not next Friday. But what I'm going to do is every super chat that comes in through the month, I'm going to catalog it. And then I'm going to do probably about 10 coins a month, a giveaway, randomly selecting those people that did super chats. And then all of those super chats are going to go towards the turkeys for this November's food bank turkey haul, right? My goal is to have 200 turkeys. And the reason is because last year we did 100. For those of you that are new here, let me go ahead and give you a quick snapshot as to how we've progressed our turkey drive every year towards the Fairbanks Food Bank. And when I started out doing this and sharing it with you all, I was doing like 25 I remember our first food bank haul. It was like so tiny compared to what we do now. But anyways, the first turkey haul that we did, I believe it was 25 turkeys that we did to the Fairbanks Food Bank. And then we also were able to get the sides, you know, stuffing, the corn, beans, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, all that kind of stuff. So we pretty much were able to donate 25 Thanksgiving meals for families that would otherwise not have had one, right? And my goal all the way back then was to double it every year. Well, the second year that we did that, we did double it. We did 50, right? And then the third year, we did 100. And the thing is that the first and second year were good years because that's when turkeys were like, I don't know, 48 cents, 36 cents a pound. And last year, it was really, really expensive, right? Because last year, the turkeys were like more than $2 and change a pound. But we still met our goal. We were still able to do 100 turkey dinners for 100 families that otherwise would not have had a turkey dinner. My goal this year, of course, is 200. So what I'm going to do is, so many people have been asking about this coin that I'm going to go ahead and start doing the super chat thing. So any super chats that come in, it doesn't matter how much it is, you're entered, and every entry gets 1 point. I don't care how much it is the super chat is. What I'll do is I'll manually put all of the names of all of the people that super chatted, however many times you did it. So if you super chat twice during that month, you're going to be entered 2 times. And then at the end of every month, I'm going to do 10 coins to give away and mail out to whoever the 10 winners are. And it'll be a random selection, all right? Just like we do it, now, but it'll be a random selection by number. So I'll go over this again next time I have a live stream because there'll probably be more people on there. But that's what I've decided to do. I've been asked if I could sell the coins, and I just can't sell them. It's just not in me to sell them. I rather do it that way and let you all know exactly where the money's going to. And it's going to be going to turkeys for people that can't feed themselves a turkey dinner this year. And let me just tell you something real quick, because some people may think that this is ridiculous. You know, what's the big deal with a turkey? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dominican by ethnicity, meaning that I was born in the Dominican Republic, but I'm American. This is my country, and this is part of my culture. Having a turkey dinner and Thanksgiving is something that I've done ever since I remember coming to this country. I came to this country when I was 3 years old. And I remember having a turkey dinner as young as when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I remember having a huge table. I remember one Thanksgiving. We had a huge table where our entire family was together, right? And it was Thanksgiving. And I remember all of the food on there. I remember all the food on that table. And I still remember to this day. And I remember I was wearing a little suit. And I couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And now as an adult, now as a half centurion, as I like to call myself, I look back at that table full of food and what it represented to me then and what it represents to me now. Well, then it represented to me just food. I was 5 years old. I didn't know about the history. I didn't know about the culture. I didn't know about the United States of America as I know it now, right? Having been, now that I'm an adult, now that I've experienced life here. Well, looking back at it now, when I look at all that food, what I look at is I look at how my father and my mother put all that food on the table by working very hard. And it was their way of saying thank you. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to provide this meal for our family, for allowing us to live in a country where we can actually go out there and make what we want to make of ourselves, not have any, don't make any excuses, and be able to provide for our family. So it was a day of thanks, right? We were giving thanks, for having the things that we have. And to me today, Thanksgiving is like one of the most important holidays that for me personally, it's one of the most important holidays. And I want to make sure that every person that we can affect, that we can help share that same holiday with their families, I want to be able to do it. That's why it's so important to me, doing this donation during Thanksgiving, giving away turkeys to the food bank so that they can give it to people that otherwise would not be able to eat a turkey dinner. It's just a turkey, right? But it's so much more than just a turkey, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, I hope it made sense what I said, but that's why it's so important to me to do this every year. I hope that I can do this every single year for the rest of my life, even if it's not 200 turkeys, even if it comes down to just one turkey. One day I won't be able to do YouTube anymore. All right. One day I may not be able to give, 10 turkeys. Maybe I'll be only able to give one. But even if I'm able to give one, I will still give one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's how important this is to me. So, anyways, this always happens. I always start talking and I always stay on here an hour when I said I was going to only stay on here for 10 or 15 minutes. How you doing, Tab P? How you doing? Good to see you. For all of you that just joined in, remember, well, let me tell you that we're going to have a giveaway right now, right? But first, you're going to have to allow me to go through everything that I need to tell you about Oupes and what they're doing and what a great company they are that are standing behind our community and people that actually need help. All right, but let me keep going down. Let me just I see I see I got a whole bunch of little super chats here. Survival Buzz, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you, Survival Buzz. Thank you very much. Okay, bringing it down, bringing it down. Doggone it. Is that starting tonight? Yes, it's starting tonight. I'm going to put it on my calendar right here to make sure that I start tracking it right now. Okay, let me see. Mr. Firstone, thank you very much, Mr. Firstone. Tip Top Girl, yes, Tip Top Girl, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Let me go ahead and hold all of the super chats to the end, and then I'll go ahead and shout you all out, okay? And then we'll hang out for a little bit, okay? Oh, yes, I haven't seen any of my moderators. That's because most of them are from the East Coast. They're all snoozing right now. Today in San Antonio was over 100 degrees, 44 times this year. Deborah, if you did not watch the video that I put out this morning, please watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, watch the video that I put out this morning. It's going to explain to you why it is that we have been having these very, very hot days, okay? And why it is that we are going to have hot days, especially during the summers, for the next several years. We are actually going to have global warming for the next several years. I'm not being facetious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, watch that video because I explained to you why. All right, those of you that watched it, then you understand why it is. But don't be confused as to why it is that we're going to be having some really hot days for the next several years, right? And do not allow yourself to be frightened by the mainstream media. I'd go over it if I had, more time on this live stream, but just watch that video. It's not that long and it's jam-packed full of news articles that I go over with you all. All right, so go watch that. I do not want people to get bamboozled by the mainstream media and by government pundits like we normally do. Let me see. Nanny says, I remember my mama getting a delivery from a charity on Thanksgiving. It was in memorable years. Amen. Amen. And isn't it wonderful that there was someone there back then that cared also? We've only got each other, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you understand that by now, that we have each other. And I mean that more so as in we have each other as far as family and as far as your church and as far as your community, right? And meaning that you should never really have to count or depend on the state to take care of you, right? If you give within your own community that you live in, one day, if you ever need, you will be taken care of. I believe in karma and I believe in dharma, meaning the better side of karma and karma being the bad side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe that taking care of your community is only good for you. It will only do good for you. When you do good for your community, it's only doing good for you. When you help your neighbors, it's only helping you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way I see it. There's never a reason not to help your neighbor. All right. Let's see. Deborah says, Rudy, I watched when you have explained what's going on in the past video. Okay, excellent. There you go, Sherry. I am too. I'll be eating turkey, and I will only be eating the fatty parts of that turkey. All right. If you haven't tried that turkey neck, man, that turkey neck I love. The thing is, man, I can't find those really big turkey necks anymore. Okay. There you go. Commando. That is right. It is hot because it's summer. All right. But we are going to have hotter than usual summers here and hotter than usual winters, which is terrible for us here in Alaska. Because the warmer that winters are, the more that it snows. And I'd rather it be super cold than a lot of snow. I'd rather not snow that much and be really cold than not be that cold and snow a lot. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to show you what's going on with Oupes. All right, Oupes, not only are they having what is hurricane season sale, which is what they're calling it, which is the best sale that I've ever seen them have since they opened their doors or they opened their shop. So anyone that is interested in an Oupes, this is the time to take a look at them. Go on their site. The link is in the description of my videos, and I do have a code, which is Alaska Prepper, to get 10% off their sale prices. I'm going to go over what Oupes is doing right now real quick, and then I'm going to go over the sale that they have, and then we're going to go ahead and cut free. We're going to do a giveaway today for those of you that just joined in of a solar generator that is being contributed by Oupes. All right, so let me go ahead and just show you what they got going on. Of course, you all know that they're having a flash sale, which is going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right, it's going on right now. And even though they have sale prices, make sure you use my code because it gives you another 10% off. And I'm just going to show you here later on an example of some of the prices because they are pretty remarkable. So Oupes did a couple of really great things, and I explained these things in a couple of my videos, but I'm going to do it now again and during a live. That way, if you have any questions, I can answer your questions. But they created something called Oupes Powerful Moments. So anyone that already has an Oupes, if you have a moment, for example, if you go to the beach, or like right here, they have a family where the father and the son are playing video games, and they have an Oupes in the background where they're using an Oupes. You can see it there. They're using the Mega 5. If you take a picture or a short video clip like that and you tag it, add Oupes Powerful Moments, right? And then you bring it into Oupes' site. When you bring it in here where it says join now, then you can be entered to win up to $3,000. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to do anything special. It's doing what you were going to do anyways. If you're building a chicken coop outside and you're using your Oupes solar generator like I do, whenever I'm building outside, I always use either my 1800 or my 2400. Whichever one I got handy, I use one of those or the other. Right, and that's what I use for my power tools outside. But if you're doing that, just take a picture of it, upload it, and you'll be entered to win $3,000. Nothing wrong with that, right? $3,000 is $3,000. But what I like most that Oupes has done is this next thing right here. Let me show you. Oupes has started what's called Oupes Help, and Oupes Help is something that they do to help people that are in need. So, for example, let's say something happens in your life where you're financially strapped and you're in need of money for whatever, right? This is not a contest. This is something where if you click that button that says apply now, it allows you to apply for, like, I guess for a lack of better words, for like a grant, not something that you have to pay back. What Oupes is doing is they're taking 5% of all of their sales and they're giving it back to the community, to people that are in need. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like to associate and affiliate and partner with companies like Nutrient Survival. I love Nutrient Survival, not just because of their product, because of the people. But Oupes has proven and is proving right now that they are also about taking care of the community by starting these two initiatives, right? And Oupes Help is something that's there, that they're taking money from their bottom line to help the community that keeps them in business. Right. So that's why I am very happy to actually be doing this on their behalf. They didn't ask me to do this. They didn't ask me to do a live stream. They didn't ask me to do any of it. They just said, hey, this is what we're doing. We're willing to give away a solar generator. Actually, they were going to give me away two, but I told them to hold on to one so that we can give it away during Christmas. All right. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but we would have given away two. All right. But I'm holding on to one so that we can give away during Christmas. Why? Because that's another holiday that's very important to me and that I like to celebrate, not only with my family, but with you, my extended family, right? So I think that Oupes deserves a pat on the back for what they're doing here. Now, real quickly, I'm going to show you all the prices that they have right now on their solar generators. And like I said, these are the best prices that I've ever seen them offer since they've been open for business. So the first one here, let me see if I can get it. Man, that was a long one, huh? The first one, of course, is the Mega 5, which is the monster. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the regular price for this is $3,600. And I know that's a lot of money, but for what you get, it's worth it. And then after their discount price, and after you use my Alaska Prepper code, it's $3,000. So it's pretty much about $550 or so off the original price. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this solar generator is the most powerful one that I've ever used. I think it's worth every penny, and it comes in at about 60 cents per watt hour. But if you want to get this and get the battery as well, look at the battery. The battery comes in at 42 cents per watt hour. So if you get this as a bundle, you save a little bit more than what you save getting it at this price, $2,132. You actually save a little bit more, but this is an awesome price on its own. And when you combine these together, you have a total of 10,080 watt hours. That is an awesome system, especially when it has an inverter that puts out 4,000 watts continuous. And if you haven't seen the video where I reviewed the Mega 5, that thing puts out 4,000 watts continuous. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's an awesome machine, very well built, very good quality. And now let's go on to one of my, well, they're all kind of like my favorites, okay? Here is what I like to call the monster. Or no, not the monster, the beast. All right, this is the beast, and this is the Oupes 2400. And you just can't go wrong with this. 46 cents a watt hour, and you're looking at $1,025 for 2,232 watt hours, ladies and gentlemen. And when this thing says that it's a 2400, it is a 2400. You can run 2400 watts continuous on this thing until the batteries are completely depleted. Now, whatever inverter it is that they put in these things, they're awesome. But one of the great things about this solar generator that I like the most is the solar input. It has a solar input. I believe it's 960 watt solar input, and that is awesome, because that means that you can charge this with solar in as little as about 2.5 hours or so, which is really good. And this is one of the solar generators that I always keep outside in a little tent, and I have it hooked up to my solar panels. And whenever I need to use my power tools, I hook it up to this solar generator or my 1800, and I use it, and it always charges up to 100% before the end of the day, before the sun goes down. This is an awesome machine, and I just don't know how they're doing these prices, because these are really, really good prices. And the next one, of course, another one of my favorites, the 1800 right here. And this 1800, ladies and gentlemen, is this, I can't believe this is the 1800, $683 after the Alaska Prepper Code. I mean, what else do you have to say? $683, 46 cents per watt hour as well. Incredible. And now this right here is the next one is the 1200, and it is the one that I would say that if you're just getting into solar generators and you have a budget that's a low budget, for $467, ladies and gentlemen, you can get the Oupes 1200, and this is a great price. Even though it's like 1 penny more per watt hour than the 1800, I'm talking about the actual price. That for under $500, you can get a solar generator that can run your refrigerator for like 12, 16 hours. That is a great deal. You know, especially for people that are looking for something just for that, like to run a refrigerator for 10 hours, 12 hours in case they have a power outage, right? It's not for Mad Max. None of these solar generators are for Mad Max, for the end of the world. No, ladies and gentlemen, they're mainly for everyday life. I don't even use these things for like camping or anything like that. I just use them because if the power goes out, I have backup, and backup that's reliable. And I like to use them to put in places, like I said, outside, where bringing an electrical cord is just, you know, it's just easier bringing the solar generator than an electrical cord all the way. So the Oupes 1200, this is what we are giving away today. We are giving one of these away today, right, to one of you, all right, is, in my opinion, the best deal for someone who is a beginning prepper or someone who's just introducing themselves into the solar generator world and doesn't have a lot of money to spend. I think this is a great deal. Now, the last one is not even on sale. Where is it? Do I have it here? Yes, the Oupes 600, which I like to call the Mighty Mouse. And I really like using this little guy. I use it all the time, like for my phone and my tablet and things like that, personal devices. I use it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. And then whenever I'm done using, I just put it outside, hook it up to the solar panel, and it fills up in an hour or two, depending on how much I used it. But the Mighty Mouse here, even though it's at regular price, $309, I put sale price up there, but that's the regular price, $309. All right, but after my discount, it comes out to $278, which I think is a pretty good price for the Mighty Mouse, and it comes in at 47 cents per watt hour. All of the prices that I just told you are effective right now. And I think that those are all really good prices. Even the price that they're charging for the Mega 5, I think that's a great price. For a machine that can do as much as the Mega 5, I mean, you can run your dryer off of the Mega 5. 4,000 watts continuous. You can input 4,000 watts into the Mega 5, 2,000 watts solar and 2,000 watts via AC. You can input into the Mega 5 at once. So for what that thing can do, and also that you can add an external battery to it, I think it's a great price. So that's what's going on with Oupes. I want to say thank you very much to Oupes. I guess you are sponsoring this video because you're giving us one of your solar generators to give away. So thank you very much, Oupes. But not only for that, I want to thank you for what you're doing for the community, for being there for people that need help. And if there is anyone out there, this is not a hoax. If you need help, apply, right? Apply. And if you do apply and you have a story behind it and everything works out, send me an email and let me know how things work out. I'll be very interested to know. All right. So now hey, look at that. Jan made it. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I know this was kind of impromptu. Joyful Orange, how are you doing? Okay. Oh, Evita is in the house. How are you doing, Evita? JR, how you doing, my brother? Oki Ken, how are you doing? All right, let me, I'm going to go back to, all right, just give me a second. Let me see. There's a few more of you on here. I'm going to go ahead and say this again. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that already heard this spiel, I apologize, but let me say it for any one of those of you that just joined in. So I decided to go ahead and do giveaways of the AP coin, of the new one. This is the 2023, I guess you can call it, all right? I had a lot of requests to sell them. I really don't want to sell them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to fund our turkey drive this year for the food bank. Our goal this year for the food bank is 200 turkeys. I'm actually working on them already right now because I think it's going to be very difficult to find 200 turkeys at once come November. So I'm working right now to see if I can start getting turkeys in as early as now so that we won't have to be scrambling till the end. So what I'm going to do is starting today, any super chat, I don't care how much it is. I used to put a limit on it of $5, but I don't care how much it is. Any super chat that comes through starting today, at the end of every month, I'm going to give away 10 coins. And anyone that gave a super chat is going to be entered at least once. If you gave 2 within that month, you'll be entered twice, etc., etc. And it's going to be picked randomly. So if you gave $1 or if you gave $5, it doesn't matter. You'll still have an entry and it'll be randomly picked for one of our Alaska Prepper coins. And every penny of those super chats, with the exception of YouTube's cut, all right, and taxes, ladies and gentlemen, but every penny after that stuff is going to go to buying turkeys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to go all to buying turkeys. I'll let you know how much we collected and how much the turkeys cost when we get them all. It's going to be kind of pricey this year, but that's what I'm doing with the coins. We're going to go ahead and give them away that way, and giveaways at the end of every month. I'll tally up everything, put all of the names on a spreadsheet, randomly select the 10 names every month until Thanksgiving comes around. And if you all want to continue to do that after that, then we can. But we'll cross that bridge when we get here. So let me say hello to a couple more of you before I go and take a look at some of the super chats that you've sent. Let me see. Yes, thank you, Oupes. A lot of people are saying thank you to Oupes, and I thank you very much. That is awesome. Hey, how you doing, Derek? Hey, Amber, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, let me go ahead and take a look at some of the super chats here. Let me start from the bottom, and I'll go up until I remember. Hey, thank you, Derek. Thank you, man. Amber is doing well. Amber's an engineer. You never told me that. But nerve damage in her eye and scarring from the contact, left in the hospital. Thank God for Michigan PIP insurance protection. Yes, absolutely. Thank God for that, huh? Awesome. Thank you, man. And thank you, Amber. I hope you're doing better. Yeah, doggone it. Isn't that something? Doggone it says the next volcano might bring us an ice age. Well, you know what? At the minimum, a year without a summer. Now, can you imagine if that volcano, doggone it, can you imagine if that volcano, that Tonga that went off, that instead of water into the atmosphere would have been sulfur, then we would have definitely been having a year without a summer right now. it would have been the opposite effects. So in a way, we kind of lucked out that we're getting heat instead of cold, because heat, in my opinion, is a lot better for life than cold is for long term, that is. You too, here are $2. All right, thank you for the turkey dollars. Walter, thank you very much, Walter. Scruffy Scrubs, thank you, Scruffy Scrubs. That Garden Life, thank you very much. Patricia, let me try to pronounce your last name, Patricia. Patricia Angermeyer. Patricia Angermeyer, thank you. Let's see, The Garden Life, thank you. I think I said thank you already. Karen Gadberry, thank you, Karen. Alaska Gwen is in the house. Thank you, Alaska Gwen. Let's see, Karen Vazur. Thank you, Karen. Or Karen. Joyful Orange. I'm in for buying turkeys. All right. Oh, man. Oh, no. Scott Hummer, don't say that, man. You don't ever have to do that. Scott, thank you very much, but you don't have to do that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. I'm very serious about this. You have to take care of your house first. You have to take care of your house first. Okay? Please take care of your house first. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. For those of you that have done a super chat, that's going to go towards the turkeys. All right? I really appreciate it. I really do. But you need to take care of your community first. So if you can, make sure that you give to your local food bank first, ladies and gentlemen. I really mean that too. Garnett, thank you very much, Garnett. Thank you. Gobble, thank you, Tip Top Girl. Mr. Firstone. I'm sorry that I have to look this way. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I told you all that I was going to mess around and see if I can shift this over, but I haven't. But I'm going to have to figure it out, where instead of looking to the side all the time to look at your chest, I can just look at them right here in the middle. All right. So doggone it. Thank you. Is that starting tonight? Okay. I think we already got that. Yes, that is starting tonight. ABC Patriot, thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that I've talked about everything that I need to talk about. If you want, I can stay on for a few more minutes, just do a little bit of chit-chat and back and forth. I do know that it is very late in the East Coast right now. It's got to be, it's tomorrow in the East Coast right now. It's Thursday in the East Coast, while it's still Wednesday here in Alaska. So I'll stay on for a few more minutes. I understand if a lot of you have to get on going to bed because you got to work tomorrow. But for those of you that maybe are in a closer time zone that I'm in, I am more than happy to stay on with you for a few more minutes. But you know what? What am I talking about? I still have to do the giveaway. Let me go ahead and open up. Oh, that's funny. Let me go ahead and open up the tool for the giveaway. Let's see. Yep. And this is going to be, that's funny. People, you must have been like, what are you talking about, man? Hurry up and do that giveaway. I got to go to bed. I got to go to work tomorrow. Okay, make sure you're paying attention, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this one right here. And this right here is going to be our word, Oupes Rocks. OUPES ROCKS. All right, make sure that you put them in all capital letters, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all capital letter. I don't know why some people are saying pecan pie, but it's Oupes Rocks. All right. Well, Evita, good luck. Good luck. Wouldn't it be awesome, Evita, if JR woke up in the morning and you won this Opus? Let's see. Thank you very much, Doggone It. Doggone It says, I'm in Florida. Wouldn't mind the cold. Here towards another turkey. Thank you. Thank you very much, Doggone It. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't mind the cold. I mean, it's actually, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I have the air conditioner on. What's the temperature outside? It is a blistering 70 degrees outside. No, in all reality, though, it is so humid. It is so humid and muggy that I turned the AC on. But inside, though, it's about 68 degrees inside. And that's really, really hot for me in the summer. Okay, so we got, look at that. We got 260 entries so far. Oupes rocks. Make sure that they're all in capital letters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just doing a double check here, a little quality control. Make sure that you all have it good. And let me go ahead and put this right now. This email is not for you to enter the contest. This email is not for you to enter the giveaway. It's not a contest, it's a giveaway. All right. This email is only for the person that wins so that you can send me your information. I will need your name, your shipping address, and a phone number that whatever shipping company they use can contact you in case there's any problems. All right. The only reason that that information is used is to get you your product, and that's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't sell it. I don't make any money off your names or none of that kind of stuff. It's just to get you your stuff the easiest way possible. So let's see. Yes, Janice. Alaskans can enter. Alaskans can enter. If you live in Alaska, you can buy Oupes product for any one of their machines except for the Mega 5 and the battery. It's a $50 shipping fee. All right, for the Mega 5 and the battery, if you get that, it's a $200 shipping fee. But I think it's worth it. All right, but if you live in Alaska, you can get that. But if you live in Alaska, you can enter the contest. And if you win, and even if I have to pay the shipping fee, I'll pay it if you win and you live in Alaska. Okay, so go ahead and make sure that you enter if you live in Alaska. That'd be pretty awesome for an Alaskan to win. It'd be pretty cool. Want me to tell you a story while we're waiting for more of you to enter? So remember I did that solar generator giveaway last Friday? I mean, I gave away, I think it was 5 solar generators that we gave away. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Well, one of the winners didn't live in Alaska, right? He had family that lives in Alaska, right? And his family members, they're like 6 hours away. And it was the winner that won the Rock Pals 500, which was a smaller solar generator. So I told him, I was like, you know what? It's really not worth somebody driving 6 hours here and 6 hours back for that small solar generator, which is maybe at the most $200 generator. I'm like, you're gonna drive a total of 12, 13 hours plus all the gasoline for like a $200 solar generator. And I was like, and you know, I did say that you should be able to live in Fairbanks or in and around Fairbanks and get here, you know, this Sunday. So anyways, I ended up not giving it away. Their family member were not able to make it. So I was going to end up doing another drawing for it, but I ended up exercising my executive power. And this is a real funny story. So a friend of mine, Adam, you know, he's one of my buddies. He calls me the other day looking for citric acid. And I'm like, what do you need citric acid for? And I obviously have some, you know, I have some because every once in a while we use it to clean the washing machine, right? Or to clean the inside of the toilet reservoir, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, he says, yeah, my friend Welcome, his friend's name is Welcome, just like you're welcome. That's his first name, right? Really cool guy, by the way. He says, yeah, my friend Welcome is going to go out on a hunt, and he uses citric acid to put it in water and spray it on the meat so that flies won't get on it. I'm like, yeah, come on over. I'll put a cup in a Ziploc bag for you and you can take it. Well, he brings the friend over, Welcome, and I end up meeting him. Really, really nice guy. He's like, I follow you. I'm from Wisconsin and I follow you. And I'm like, really? So we start talking for like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. Really, really nice guy. And he tells me about the hunt that he's going on and all of these things and that he needs a satellite phone and stuff. And I'm like, do you have a way to charge it? And he said, no, not really. You know, maybe whatever I can get out of the vehicle, but I'm going to be out in the bush for a while. I was like, just a second. So I went and grabbed that little Rock Pals 500 and gave it to him. And he was very, very grateful. But I just think that it was pretty awesome that someone that I never met before, that is a friend, well, he's my friend now, but that is a friend of mine that came from Wisconsin, and he follows this community right here. So if you're watching right now, welcome. It was a pleasure meeting you, my friend. And more than likely, he's not watching because I believe he's out in the bush by now. But let's see. Let's bring it down just a little bit. And I'll see how many entries we've got. Okay, so make sure that Gemma 269, make sure that you put it all in capital letters. If not, the algorithm will not recognize you. 115-degree index in Southwest Florida. Incredible. You can blame that on Tonga, all right? Blame it on Tonga. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video that I put out early this morning. Okay, wow, man, a lot of you are entering. That is awesome. Let me see. I think I saw one of our OGs in here. Oh, must have passed by. The redneck prepper is in the house. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and do this drawing right now. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, whoever wins, I need your information, your name, your shipping address, and your phone number where the shipping company can contact you if there's a problem with the delivery, all right? To this email address right here, onewinner2@gmail.com. And remember that in order for you to be able to get this shipped to you, you have to live within the United States, right? If you live outside the United States, Oupes is not going to be able to ship it to you. Right, so you'll just be taking someone's spot if you end up winning and you don't live in the United States. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that drawing. Let me put this back on. All right, we're at 321 entries, and let's go ahead. Good luck to every one of you. And again, thank you very much, Oupes, for sponsoring this video, giving away one of your solar generators, and for doing the awesome things that you're doing for our community. All right, good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Who's it going to be? Is it someone that I know? Oh, look at that. It's me. It's me. Whoa, congratulations. It's me. Congratulations. That is awesome. Let me go ahead and document this so that I can have this. Make sure that you send me your information to that email address below. Let me go ahead and put this up here. And that's going to be for the Oupes 1200. Great solar generator, by the way. Let me just put this down here. It's me. It's me 1 to 1200. Save it. All right. All right. Well, congratulations. It's me. Good for you. Send me your information, and then I will make sure that I forward it over to Oupes tomorrow so that they can get you that. Okay. All right, let me see. Yeah, that's awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. I'm already starting to think about Christmas. It's going to be an awesome Christmas bash giveaway. I can't wait. Well, we'll see what happens, all right? We'll see what happens. Let's see. Someone has a question here. And that is Priceless Sound. Do you have a great way to store beans, and what kind of jars do you recommend for canning? Well, I usually use the ball or the cur, and they've always done well. I've used the cheapo ones, and I call them the cheapo ones because they're like the ones that you get at Walmart that are a little bit cheaper. But I haven't really used those too much. I've used mainly the ball or the cur, canning jars, pressure canning jars. And man, I think I've maybe had 2 fails, but because of my fault. Meaning that maybe I took a jar out and I put it on a place that was cool and it cracked or something like that. But maybe 2 fails in all of the years that I've done pressure canning. So how do I store beans? Just take a look at some of my videos from the past. I show you different ways to store beans. One of the ways that's the easiest and cheapest ways to store beans, especially for a beginner prepper, is to use like plastic containers, like apple juice containers or 2-liter soda bottles, and make sure that you put an oxygen absorber in there, and make sure that cap is sealed on there really nice and tight. It actually works very well. I was actually consolidating some of my preps here last week, and I came across some that I had packed more than 10 years ago now. I think it was 2012 or 2013 in 2-liter bottles. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. That will probably outlive me if I never use it or never have to use it. All right. So that is a way that you can put away preps on the cheap. And those are actually calories that will keep you alive should something bad happen, where you can't get food anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, slow and steady wins the race, but you have to understand that even if you're just a little bit prepared, let's say you're just a starting or a beginning prepper and you only have like a month's worth of food, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that month, you can stretch that month out because things get bad enough. Like, let's say, for example, Venezuela. And it seems like I always pick on Venezuela, but they are a great or a case subject because they've been going through a financial collapse for the last several years, more than a decade now. And even though things are getting a little bit better over there, they're still going through one pretty much, right? So let's say that in the beginning of their collapse, which started, I believe it was like 2012, let's say that there was someone there that had a year's supply of food. It doesn't mean that after a year they ran out of food, because even though they were going through a financial collapse and there was scarcity in food was still available. There was still availability of food. There was only two problems. Problem is that it wasn't very available, so everything was rationed, and the foods that were available en masse was too expensive for people to buy. All right, so people were still able to get food, just not as much as they were able to get in the past. So let's say someone had a year's worth of food put away in their pantry. That year's worth of food could have probably stretched out to 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how much food they could have gotten otherwise, besides dipping into their stored food. So even if you have a month's worth of food, you have more food put away than most people in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. Maybe 5% of the people in the U.S., let's say 10% at the most, the people in the U.S. have a month's worth of food put away for emergencies. Hey, look at this. It's Jeremiah Mathis. How you doing, Jeremiah? It's good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Maritza says, what to do if they ration our meat? Well, I've got enough meat put away for a very long time. I would say that I have at least a year, if not more than a year's worth of meat put away for long-term storage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's not counting the meat that I have in the freezer. I actually paid my freeze dryer. I paid it forward to a friend because that's it. I have no more room. I've got all the meat that I can possibly put away right now. I've got all the protein that I can put away right now, enough to last for a long time. And what people have to understand is that a crisis is not going to last forever, right? Crises don't last forever. If not, they wouldn't have a word. It would just be part of normal life, right? So if you have a few years of something, or if you have maybe enough silver and gold put away, you may be able to use that to barter later on down the road after the initial shock of that major crisis wears off. Being a prepper is a great investment. Go into your pantry. If you have something in your pantry that you purchased a year ago, I mean a food item, go in there, see how much you paid for it a year ago and see how much it costs today. I bet you that you beat the stock market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've often said that one of the best stocks you could buy is a well-stocked pantry because it will always beat the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Who's your pioneer? Ask, what kind of solar panels should I buy? You know what? The solar panels that I use that are like branded solar panels, like I have Oupes solar panels. Excuse me. And I also have Dabson solar panels, and they're very high quality solar panels, very high quality, but they're very expensive, right? In my opinion, they're very expensive. And that's one thing that I failed to mention about Oupes, their sale. They even have their solar panels on sale. So you can get them at a reduced price right now as well. And you can also use my code for another 10% off on the solar panels as well. Right, so they're actually at a reduced price right now. But in my opinion, they're still pretty expensive. But man, they are darn good solar panels. They are really, really good. But if you're on a budget and you want to check out a decent 100-watt solar panel for like less than $100, check my Amazon storefront. I've got like 2 or 3 different types on there that I've used and that are good, and I still use now. I still use right now, and they still work good after about 3 or 4 years of using them. They're still working well. And although those solar panels may not capture like 80% of the sun, because like the Oupes solar panels and those Dabson solar panels that I have, man, those things capture a really good amount of the sun. They're like 70%, 80%, which is really, really good. You know, usually solar panels, if you get 50, 60% out of them, meaning that if you have a 100-watt solar panel and you're getting 60 watts, 70 watts out of them, that's really, really good, right? These guys, the Oupes that I have and the Dabson, those things are getting like 80, 85%, which is great. And of course, it all depends on how they're positioned and the angle and all that kind of stuff. But man, 80% is a really good number. But those solar panels that I have on my Amazon storefront, those are pretty cheap 100-watt solar panels, and I get a good 55, 60, 70% sometimes, depending on the sun, out of them. So, you know, that's pretty good for getting a solar panel that's like, I think they average around 80, 85 bucks per solar panel. So, yeah, you can use those solar panels if you're on a budget. If you're not on a budget, check out those Oupes solar panels because those things work great. And Oupes says that those solar panels are not like waterproof. And I've always left those solar panels out in the weather, whether it's raining, whether it's dusty, whether there's ash in the air from fires, no matter what. And those things still work great. The other day, I noticed that they had a whole bunch of dust on them and they were still collecting sunlight. But I went over there and I rinsed them off to get the dust out of them. And as soon as I got all of the dust off of them or dirt off of them, the wattage coming in kind of like doubled. So yeah, make sure you keep your solar panels cleaned. Thank you, Nanny. Thank you very much, Nanny Tam. Is that Ma? How you doing, Ma? It's good to see you. Okay, let's see. We're going to go ahead and start finishing it off, ladies and gentlemen. I see some people are like, hey, we're on the East Coast and it's late. Let's see. Hi, how you doing, Keisha? Good to see you. Thank you, Deborah. You're very, very nice, Deborah. Thank you very much. Very kind. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, is that what they are? About 70 bucks now? That's a really good price. I think that I know when I bought them, they were like $74 or something like that. That's a really good price. Okay. Well, I don't know why Keith in Arizona keeps saying pecan pie, but I used to really like pecan pie when I used to eat that kind of stuff. But now all I eat is meat. What did I have today? Today for dinner, I had 2 Warrior burgers. Does anybody here know what a Warrior burger is? A Warrior burger is a hamburger that I have my butcher make up. And it's a hamburger with little pieces of cheddar cheese in it, but it also has 10% liver. So it's 90% burger meat with fat, of course. And it's got 10% liver, beef liver, and then a little bit of cheddar cheese. I had 2 of those that equal 1 pound. And then I had about a half a pound of brisket. Let me see. That was it. Yeah, that's what I had for dinner today. A pound of Warrior burgers, which is burgers with liver and a little bit of cheddar cheese and about a half a pound of brisket. And let me see. Anything else? Nope, that was it. Thank you, Marty. Let me see. Deborah, it's beef liver. Beef liver. I just haven't put beef liver in it. Another thing that I have them do is I have them make burgers that are 30% fat instead of like 20 or 15. Because that 30% fat is the perfect makeup for the amount of fat and protein ratio that you have if you're on a carnivore diet. Because you got to remember, if you're like on a carnivore diet, I'm more on the side of carnivore than I am ketovore, meaning that I very, very rarely eat any carbs at all. The only carbs that I eat are trace carbs that are like maybe in eggs or in butter, which has like very, very trace amount of carbohydrates, not enough that you can really count them. So I'm more on the side of carnivore than I am anything else. But I don't even remember what I was saying now. Okay, I remember. You have to remember that when you're eating fat and protein, that the fat is your fuel. So if you don't eat enough fat, then what your body's going to do is going to tell your liver, once you run out of fat, to fuel your body, all right? The fat is the fuel, and then the protein is your amino acids that are used as building blocks, okay? So let's say you don't eat enough fat and your body runs out of fuel. Then where's it going to get that fuel? What it's going to do is it's going to take your protein, it's going to tell your liver to convert some of that protein into sugar, because sugar is fuel and fat is fuel. But fat is the fuel that you want to feed your body. You don't want to feed it sugar. So your body, being that if it runs out of fat because you don't eat enough fat, then it's going to convert some protein into sugar because your liver can do that, right? So you want to make sure you eat enough fat. So if you eat more fat than what your body needs, you just excrete it. You excrete it out. You poop it out, right? But if you eat more protein than what your body needs, then your liver usually ends up overworking itself because you got too much protein. And if you don't have enough fat, it's going to end up working to turn that protein to sugar to feed your body, to give it fuel. All right. I hope that makes sense. Hey, thank you very much, Tammy. Thank you for the super chat. Gobble, gobble to you too. Let's see. So Tweety, how do you prep and stockpile for carnivore? I have at least a good year supply of meat, not just for me, but for my family. I got at least a good year supply of meat in various forms. Canned meat, I have a lot of canned meat. You all remember when Costco used to sell the canned beef for about half the price that they sell it now? Well, I stocked up on those when they were that price. I have a bunch of canned chicken from Costco, right? I also have a bunch of canned chicken that I pressure can myself. I have a bunch of canned beef that I pressure can myself, canned sausage. I have a ton load of Spam, and I love Spam, right? I have a whole bunch of different types of tunas and different types. I love sardines. Those sardines that you get from Costco, man, they are such high quality. Those things are delicious, right? I'm stocking up on those. I don't have as many of those as I want, but I'm going to start stocking up on them. Every time I go to Costco, I'm going to grab one or two of those to build that up. I'm pretty much the only one in my house that likes those, but they're so good for you, and they have the omega-3s in them that you really need, and they just taste really good to me. And they come packed in extra virgin olive oil as well. So I get those as well. Deborah asks, Rudy, do you think you can ask if we can get a layaway program going? I'm not sure what you're talking about, a layaway program. A layaway program for what, Deborah? Let me know what that. I do store honey. I have a lot of honey. Honey is not carnivore. But ladies and gentlemen, honey has medicinal purposes, number one. And number two, all of the stuff that you see me put away over the years, like long-term food storage. Look, where is it? Nutrient survival. All of this stuff, most of it, except for this right here, these are the eggs. I can eat the eggs. I can have the nutrient drink. I can have the coffee, right? This stuff right here, my very favorite right here, homestyle scramble, can't really have it. Cannot really have it, all right, with my diabetes. But all of that food will not go to waste ever, all right? Because if I ever need it, I will eat it. If it's between me starving, all right, because I don't have meat to eat because I've gone through all my meat, or eating this, of course I'm going to eat this, all right? I've got legumes. I've got, lentils that I can use that are low in glycemic index. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I can still use to eat that will keep my diabetes in check, all right? But this food here, I'll never get rid of it, right? Eventually, I am going to start eating a little bit now and then as a treat and to see how it affects my blood sugar. Let me see. Troubled Bearsteader. Pardon me, but how do you do? Oh, man, thank you for asking, man. There should be a little button down there with a $sign if you want to do a super chat. But thank you for asking. It's kind of odd for me to try to explain to someone how to do a super chat. But there should be like a little button in the bottom with a dollar sign on it, and then it allows you to do one. So yeah, I think it's important to store honey, and it's, it can be used as a healthy comfort food. especially like for kids. If you don't want to give kids sugar, honey would be the next best thing. I know that a lot of carnivore channels and stuff like that, they're like, oh, honey is disgusting. It's bee puke. It's bees puking, right? But hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to tell you how to live your lives, what to eat. I share my carnivore / ketovore diabetic experience with you all, because maybe some people can benefit from my experience, and that's awesome. But it's my experience, and everyone is different. So, I'm sure that if I get to the point where my blood sugar is really normal all the times, which is almost there, it's doing really, really well. My A1C is is below the diabetic range, right? But it's still in the pre-diabetic range. So once I get my A1C down to below the pre-diabetic, below like 5.6, if it's like 5.4, 5.5 or lower, I'll be in the regular range, right? And once I get there, I will start doing an experiment with certain things. Maybe I'll try a little bit of honey with tea and see how that affects my blood sugar. Maybe I'll try some lentils with a little bit of rice and see how, I'll start doing experiments, but I'm not going to consider myself being out of the danger zone until after I am below pre-diabetic. So I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing because it's been working. Here in a week or two, I'm going to start doing some resistance training. Hopefully that will help bring my metabolism up a little bit. And usually if you drop a little bit of weight, it usually helps your diabetes a lot. And we'll just see what happens. Time will tell. But the trick is to never give up. That is the trick. Never give up. Linda, Rudy, tell the folks that came in late about what you're doing for the. Okay, all right, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's like 300 here, so that means people are going to bed here. So what we're gonna do for the turkeys today, for those of you that don't know, that are new here, every year around early November to mid-November at the latest, we go ahead and do a turkey drive for the food banks here in Alaska. And this year, our goal is 200 turkeys, 200 turkey dinners. So I go out and I get 200 turkeys wherever I can get them, along with all the sides, stovetop stuffing, green beans for green bean casserole, corn, cranberry sauce, all that kind of stuff, mashed potatoes, butter, all that stuff. We get them and we bring it to the food bank so that they can feed those families that otherwise would not have been able to have a Thanksgiving dinner, right? So this year's goal is 200. And a lot of people have asked me if they can buy the Alaska Prepper silver coin. This is a 1/10 ounce of silver, and it's the 2023 Alaska Prepper coin. As you can see, it's different than the original that we had. So what I'm going to do is at the end of every month, starting with today's super chats, any super chats that are on record, starting today, at the end of every month until we reach our goal, I'm going to be doing a drawing for 10 coins, right? And the 10 coins are going to be going to a random selection of the first 10 of everyone that gave a super chat that month. So if you do a super chat 2 times in that month, you'll be entered twice. And the way that you'll be selected will be randomly. What I'll do is I'll take all of the names that did the super chat for that month, I'll put them on a spreadsheet, and then I'll have a random generator generate a number 10 times, and those 10 numbers are the ones that will be the winners. All right. And that's what we'll do. That's what we did last year for a while. And we're going to do that this year again, to raise money for the food bank for the turkeys this year. And I will be transparent. I will let you know exactly how much we raised. Obviously, you do have to take into consideration that YouTube keeps some of that money, and I do not use taxes to shield myself from the donations that I do. Meaning that if I do a donation, I don't take the money that I did a donation with and deduct it on my taxes. And I do that on purpose because I don't like to play that game. I don't like to play the game of using a donation for a tax purpose, because I just don't like to play that game. I guess it's my way of sticking it to the man, right? It's my way of sticking it to the man, saying, hey, I don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need your tax deduction. We can do it on our own. So anyways, that's what I'll be doing here for the next 3 months. And hopefully we'll be able to raise enough to get 200 turkeys. And I may talk to a few of my sponsors as well to see if they want to chip in. But there's only so much that I can ask of my sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. My sponsors and my affiliates, they're so generous with our community. They're always giving us stuff. So there's only so much that we can ask of them. Okay, let's see. Oh, you mean to like do a layaway plan for the generators? Well, I don't think that they'll do that. I'm not sure that there's, you know, Deborah, but no, I would not recommend this. I know that they have like a plan where you can pay like in 4 payments, but I do not recommend that at all. All right. I do not recommend that you go get anything for preparedness on any kind of a payment plan. What I would recommend is that if there's something that you need in your prepper, arsenal, uh, then you prioritize it and you get it when you can and you save up for it. Slow and steady wins the race, and everything happens for a reason. And because you may not be able to get something now, doesn't mean that when you are able to get it, that it will be even better than what it would have been if you got it now. If you understand what I mean, meaning that everything happens for a reason. All right. So I would never recommend that you go out there and get into debt to get something that's prepper related, unless you can pay that off like before the bill is due. So, for example, I use a credit card, one credit card that I use, my Costco credit card, for everything. But at the end of the month, before that bill is due, that thing is paid off in full. I've never paid a penny interest on that. And that's what I'm getting at. If you're going to get into debt to get something that's prepper related or anything, that's fine as long as you can pay that debt off before any interest has accrued. So I wouldn't recommend that you do like the 4 monthly payment or anything like that. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I know, doggone it. I got that. Yeah. I don't recommend that at all. I think that you can do the 4 monthly payment deal, depending on how you pay, but I don't recommend it. All right. I don't recommend it. Brenda, no, just click on the link that I provided in the description of the video. It's in the description of this video right now. There's a link that says Oupes solar generators, I believe. And then make sure that if you do purchase something, make sure that you use my code, which is Alaska Prepper, and it will give you 10% off the final price, even the discounted price. So it'll give you 10% off even the discounted price if you use that code. And you'll be able to use that code at checkout. All right. So that's where you get the link from, is in the description of the video. Does it really, Angela? Wow, that's going to be an interesting experiment for me. Angela says honey spikes worse than high fructose. Well, you see, the thing is, though, that everyone's different. I've seen some YouTubers that say that they, for a treat every Saturday or so, they have honey, and that is just fine. All right. So everyone is different. I know that when I first started this diabetic journey, that even if I had salads, that it would spike my blood sugar. It's really crazy. But now that my body has, for lack of better words, I'm going to say that now that my body has like been allowed to heal itself a little bit, it's not fully healed yet, but it's been allowed to somewhat heal itself. Now, the other day I had cabbage. I ate some stir-fried cabbage, and it didn't spike my blood sugar at all. It didn't spike it at all. It was still pretty normal when I took it. So that is, to me, that's great news. Number one, because I love cabbage, all right? And number two, because I can have something every once in a while. I don't have it all the time, but every once in a while I can have something that's other than just pure protein and fat. So that's great news. Thank you very much, Sylvie. Thank you very much for the super chat. Kathy, thank you, Kathy. Man, that's going to be a lot of names for me to be jotting down on a spreadsheet, but it'll be well worth it. Very well worth it. Oh, yeah. Take America Back from Israel. Yummy. Great, greasy bear meat. Man, that would be so tasty. I've had bear meat before, but not greasy. I would love to have me some real greasy. I love the fat, ladies and gentlemen. When all you eat is meat and protein and fat, I eat cheese. And I don't eat that much. I guess I would say that I average about 2 ounces of cheese per day. Sometimes I don't eat cheese for 3 or 4 days. And then sometimes I may eat 4 or 6 ounces of cheese in one day, right? But when all you eat is proteins and fats, man, your body craves that fat. So like when I eat a steak, my favorite part of that steak is all the trim around the outside, all the fat. That middle piece of that steak, no matter how good a quality steak that is, it can be a prime ribeye, right? I rather have the outer edges that have all the fat than the middle that's lean, right? That fat is just the best part. Okay. Oh man, that sounds so good right now. Some coffee, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. Must be coffee time, Rudy. Good. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, coffee sounds really good. I think I'm gonna make me a coffee. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock in the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unprecedented for me to be awake this long into the night. It's 9 p.m. in the evening and I'm awake. Usually I'm snoring by now. All right, but I think I'm gonna have me a coffee after this live stream. That sounds really good. Hey Brenda, how you doing? Good to see you, Brenda. Thank you. Let's see. Evita says YouTube takes between 35 and 45% from every super chat and all the money you get from the channel. Is it 35% for super chat? Holy guacamole. I do hear though that super chats are good for the channel as far as it being recommended. So at least you get a little bit of something for that 35%. Incredible. Oh, Brenda, you missed a lot. You're gonna have to go back to the beginning. How you doing, Brenda? It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna need. Well, I have a spreadsheet. Okay, I have a spreadsheet for that. And I'll wait to the end of the month too. I remember when I used to do this before. I used to wait to the very end, and it used to take me like 2 hours to just be typing in names. But it's all good. Maybe this time I'll figure out a way to copy and paste or something. We'll see. Oh, Angela, yes, I only eat once a day, sometimes twice. Today I ate twice because I didn't eat very much yesterday. So, like for example, yesterday I only ate about a pound of meat. That's all I ate. A pound, maybe a pound and a quarter of meat. That's all I ate yesterday, and that's just not that much. Okay. So today I woke up hungry. So today I usually eat between noon and 6, and that's it. So between noon and 6, I eat, and that's it. And I don't even have a coffee like after 6 o'clock. Today I may, because I want to, and I'm not going to I'm not going to be that restrictive to myself. If I want to have a coffee at 9 o'clock, I'm going to have a coffee, but I rarely ever do. All right. But today I woke up hungry. So I ate my first meal, which was a pound of hamburger and some sliced cheese on it at about 11:30 in the morning. And then I ate my second meal, which was about a half of a pound of steak at about, I think it was around 4:30. Yeah, around 4:30 in the afternoon, I ate my second meal, about a half a pound of steak. So yeah, today I ate twice, but it was still within that 6-hour period. But usually I will eat around between 2 and let's say 4 p.m. is usually around when I eat, but I'll eat a big meal. I'll either eat a like 1.5 to 2 pounds worth of steak, or I'll eat a pound of steak with 6 eggs and cheese or something like that. But I'll eat one big meal. I'll just eat until I'm not stuffed where I feel like throwing up, but until the food that I'm eating doesn't taste good anymore. That's how much I eat. It's almost like a wild animal, right? I keep eating until I'm pretty much full, right? But not like ready to puke, or until the steak that I'm eating, it just doesn't taste good anymore because I've had so much. It's just my body's way of saying, hey man, you've had enough. You don't need to eat anymore. That's why the steak isn't tasting as good as it did when you first started eating. So that's pretty usually how I do it. And I know I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Every once in a while, I do have that poison drink. Every once in a while, I go out and get me like a Diet Mountain Dew or a Diet Pepsi. But it's every once in a while. It's nowhere near as much as it used to be in the past. In the past, I used to drink at least one full liter of diet soda a day. At least one every single day, or one of those big cups every day, diet soda. And I used to tell myself, well, it's diet soda, so it's not as bad for you as regular soda, where diet soda is probably worse for you than regular soda, right? But they're both really bad for you. But every once in a while, I'll go out there and I'll get me a diet soda. You know why? Because I want one, you know, and it's like, you know, I look at all of the things that I've given up, even though I don't really miss the sugar. I don't miss the bread. I don't miss the sweets. I don't miss any of it, you know, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and have me a Diet Mountain Dew if I want one. I'm going to go grab it, but I don't do it every day. So that is my one thing that I do that I know I shouldn't do, but I do it anyways. I mean, that's okay, Janet, if you want to do stuff like that. I'd rather not get cash, but I'd have had people do that, and I am transparent. If I get something like that, I put it to the side, and I even show it on the channel, and I use it for that. But you don't have to do that. We'll make it. You know, we'll make it. We'll do it. Try carbonated mineral water instead, but I love my Mountain Dew. Come on, Celine. Why are you trying to take away my Mountain Dew from me? You know, I'm not sure how many of you maybe have seen the video where I confess to this, but I used to have a nicotine addiction, ladies and gentlemen. I used to have a nicotine addiction, and I gave that up about 5 months ago or so. Right? I never really told anyone on YouTube about it, that I used to have a nicotine addiction, and that I had for years and years and years. And it's one of those things that I never really talked about, because mainly I knew that there's kids here that their parents allow them to watch the show, and I didn't want any of the kids saying, hey, Alaska Prepper, you know, vapes. I used to vape, right? I used to dip before that, but it was tearing up my lips, so I started vaping for my nicotine addiction. I didn't want any kids thinking that that was cool, so I didn't talk about it. But now that I gave that up, one morning I was sitting drinking my water, and I went to reach for my vape pen, just out of instinct. And I didn't even realize that I had reached for it and put it up to my mouth until I had it up to my mouth. And when I did that, I was like, you know what? I've had enough of this. Because by that time, I'd already given up soda. I wasn't drinking soda anymore. By that time, I was already well into my ketovore, carnivore journey, where I had pretty much given up all sugar and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I might as well give this stuff up, because this stuff is not good for me anymore. It's never been good for me, and it's not good for me. So in that instant right there, I took that vape pen, the atomizer, and the battery pack and all that kind of stuff. I took it. I went and grabbed all of the liquid that I have, all of the nicotine liquid and stuff that I had in my cupboard. I threw it all away. All away. I didn't ease off of it or anything. I just took everything that I have, all the paraphernalia of that. I threw it all away, and I haven't had any nicotine since. So, yes, and if you do smoke, I'm not trying to beat up on you, all right? But if you do smoke, you really do need to quit, especially if you smoke cigarettes. And if you smoke cigarettes, this is what I would do. I'm not telling you to do this, but this is what I would do. If I smoked cigarettes and I was really addicted to those cigarettes, I would switch over to a vape pen. I would go get me an atomizer, right? Go to a vape shop and have them hook you up with an atomizer with they call it juice, right? The liquid that you put in the atomizer, at least 18, all right? At least 18 of nicotine, right? The nicotine, I think it goes up to 24. I've seen some of them at 30. But at least 18 of nicotine, because it's pretty strong. And then you can go from 18, and then every month or 2 months, you can go down 6 milligrams. Go from 18 to 12, from 12 to 6, from 6 to 3, and then bring it down to 0, and then you can give that up. Or if you want, you can do what I did. You can just go cold turkey. All right. But yeah, absolutely give that stuff up. You don't need that in your life, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need it in your life. It's just one of those vices that we have. You know, I'm of the mindset that, hey, if you want to smoke, smoke. You know, if you work, if you pay bills and stuff like that, and you want to smoke, smoke. It's your life, right? But if you want to quit smoking, I would recommend that you did quit smoking. I think that you're better off not doing it than you are doing it. Let's see. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you all to go to bed, and it's time for me to go making my coffee. All right, I am going to have my coffee at 9:15 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. All right. Hey, thank you very much. Congratulations again to the winner. Make sure that you send me your information so I can send it over to Oupes, and they can mail you your Oupes 1200. You're going to love that solar generator. There it is right there, actually. That's my 1200 right there. It's a great solar generator. I love that thing. And right now you can pick this thing up for like 400 and something bucks. That's a great deal. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if we're gonna have a live stream this Friday. Our next live stream is set for next Friday, not this one. But we'll see what happens this Friday. If I'm caught up with my chores outside, maybe we'll hang out for a little bit of time. Other than that, thank you very much for always joining in. Thank you very much for supporting me and watching my videos. If you haven't seen this morning's video, go check it out. It is very telling because it is showing you what it is that they're going to use to scare the American people into submission of this global warming stuff. The globe, the earth is going to warm for the next few years, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to stay warm for the next few years, but it's not because of you. It's not your SUV. It's not the cow farts. It's not because you eat meat. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. And here is our outro. And I am out. God bless you all.